Good morning, students. Today we are going to do our first chapter, A Letter to God, written by G.L. Fuentes. The pronunciation of this word is Fuentes. He was a Mexican novelist, poet, and journalist, and he was one of the leading writers who wrote about the Mexican Revolution. Most of his stories are exciting, humorous, and set in Mexico because he was from Mexico. Yeah, he was awarded the National Prize of Arts and Sciences in 1935 by the government of Mexico. So today we are going to read about a very simple common man's story who had an unquestionable faith, unwavering, robust, very strong faith in God, and he wrote a letter to God to help him out because he had lost his crops. So let's see what happens in the chapter. It's a very in a very gentle manner. He has put forth the idea that you know a person can have should have faith in God, and it is somehow fulfilled by God. So let's read the chapter. You can see here on the screens, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. The idea of having unquestionable faith, unwavering, robust faith in God. So this is the theme of the chapter. The chapter gives us the theme that there people have some people have unquestionable faith in God, and because they have faith, so their wishes are generally fulfilled. So let's read it. Before reading this chapter, let's go through the no activity here given on the first page. One of the cheapest ways to send money to someone is through the post office. Have you ever sent or received money in this way? Here is what you have to do. Here you have been given the money order form, and you have to you have been the clues are given below this, and you have to fill it to send money to someone. See here, there are 6 sections here. This is section number 1, and this is section number 2. Next is date. After date, this column is section number 3. Next is section number 4, and this is number 5, and this is number 6. So you can it is just simply filling in your details and the receiver's details and the details of money, and you will be able to send the money order to someone whom you knows or you want to send money. See here the bullet points here given. Think about you will who you will send the money to and how much. You might want to send money for a magazine subscription, or to a relative, or a friend. If you want to send money to someone, you can send it by money order, or you may fill out the form with yourself as sender and your partner as receiver. Use a part of your pocket money and submit the form at the nearest post office to see how it's done. See how your partner enjoys getting money by post. Notice that the form has 3 parts: the money order form, the part of official use, and the acknowledgement. What would you write in the space for communication? Yes, on the last of it, you have been given some space for communication. Means if you want to write some message to the receiver whom you are sending the money, you can write here the message to him also, but in a very short manner. Not it doesn't have much space for that. So here you can see you can fill the particulars. If you have ever sent a money order, that's good, you know how to fill it. See here the detail of the money in words and in figures, then the receiver's address, and then your signature, sender's signature. Then this second and third part you will leave it because this is for only official use. And then is acknowledgement. This of course you'll have to write here the sender's name, your name and address here, and the money order number will be given by the department, and the date you will fill, or they may also fill that. Next is received rupees. This will be filled by the person whom you have sent the money. After receiving it, he will fill the amount here and the date, and then the signature of the payee, the postman will sign here, and you can write the message of your own here. So let's move forward. Why we have been doing this activity? Because in the story, the protagonist Lencho, the main character of the story, he is sending a money order to God. He is using no, he is getting a money order from God's side, as he assumes. So this is, you should, people should be aware what is money order and how it is to be filled and how does it seem. So that's why it has been given in the beginning of the chapter. Okay, now complete the following statements. In addition to the sender, the form has to be signed by these 3 or 4 questions. You can have answer from the money order form. You can look at it and find out the answers of these very simple questions. So let's begin with the chapter. The house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. From his height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, dotted with the flowers. Dotted means filled up, means there were a number of flowers there that always promised a good harvest. Means the flowers blooming there in the field, they always had a promise, means they always symbolizes a good crop in the field. The house, here the house has been mentioned, Lencho's house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. Crest means on the top of the low hill. It was the only house which was on the top of the hill in the village. The entire valley, the complete valley, other houses were down there, and the only house of Lencho was on the hill. From his this height, one could see the river. The river could be seen from that height of the hill, and the field of ripe corn, and Lencho's field could also be seen very clearly. Dotted with flower means filled with flowers that always promised a good harvest. Means that they always symbolizes, the flowers always symbolize a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower throughout. Means the only thing that the earth needed, means the rain needed badly at that time. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, means his fields needed a shower or a downpour badly, right? So had done nothing, Lencho had done nothing but else but see the sky towards the northeast. Means he was looking at the sky in hope of rain throughout the day. Now we are really going to get some water woman. Now he's talking to his wife. He's talking to his wife and he's saying, now as I'm watching here at the sky, and I can see clearly that there will be rain in no time. Very soon it will rain. The woman who was preparing supper means dinner, replied, yes, God willing. Means if God wishes, of course we will have rain very soon. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house, until the woman called to them all, come for dinner. Means the older boys, means the older children of Lencho were working in the field, while the smaller ones, the little ones, were playing near the house, until the woman called. Means his wife called them, until his wife called them for dinner. Come for dinner. It was during the meal that just Lencho had predicted. Big drops of rain began to fall in the northeast. Huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have a pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, and when he returned he exclaimed, there aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives. So Lencho had predicted in the day that there will be rain soon, and when they started eating their supper, the big drops of rain began to fall. I mean, it started raining. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching from the northeast direction. A huge clouds could be seen approaching, coming to their place. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. Means he just subtly got up when he was having his meal. He just got up and went out just to feel the fall of raindrops on his body. He exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins." Means he compared the raindrops with the new coins. Means he knew that if it rains, he would have a very wonderful harvest and he could earn a lot of money. So he was comparing the raindrops with the new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives. So the big drops were equal to 10-cent pieces and the little ones were equal to 5. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in the curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. See here, with a satisfied expression, means he was very happy, he was very satisfied. He regarded that rain has started. He regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Means he is just comparing his corn field, which is full of flowers, which is draped in the curtain of rain. Means it was covered in the curtain of rain. You can imagine a cornfield and the raindrops falling over it, so it seemed like a curtain in front of our eyes, the curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly means at once a strong wind began to blow. Instead of the mild wind, it started blowing very strong wind, and with it brought the large hailstones. These means the large hailstones truly did resemble new silver coins. Now again, resemble means it looked like, means the similar one, the new silver coins. Means Lencho considered those hailstones. Here hailstones have been compared with new silver coins. A metaphor has been used. Means instead of saying hailstones, he is calling them silver coins. The boys exposing themselves to rain, and the boys who wanted to have a bath in the rain, they just ran out to collect the frozen pearls. And the frozen pearls, again see the phrase here, frozen pearls, again here symbolize the hailstones. So two metaphors have been used here. One is the silver coins and the other is frozen pearls. Frozen pearls actually are hailstones, but frozen pearls here stand for the silver coins, and frozen pearls here stand for the prosperity that Lencho was expecting after selling his wonderful crop after this rain. Okay, next let's move to the next paragraph. It is really getting bad now, he exclaimed the man. It is really getting bad now means the strong wind has started blowing. So he exclaimed, he wondered, I hope it passes quickly. Means he could now imagine what would happen if the strong wind would not stop blowing. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Means there was such a strong hailstorm that everything, the hillside, the cornfield, the whole valley was covered with very, you can say, the frozen pearls here. See, he had used the frozen pearls, so it was covered with the frozen pearls, or you can say the hailstones. Got it, everyone? Okay, now let's move to the next paragraph. Not a leaf remained on the trees. See here in this paragraph, we are going to read the consequences of the hailstorm. Not a leaf remained on the trees. See the uses of not here. It has been used in the beginning of the sentence to emphasize the fact something has not happened. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The corn was totally destroyed, destructed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Means there were no flowers left. All the plants were covered with hailstones. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. Means he was utterly sad. When upset, sad means very, very upset. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. It was so sad watching his cornfield covered with hailstones. It looked complete white in color. He said to his sons in an upset mood, in gross sadness, he said, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. See here the phrase locusts. Locusts is insects which fly in big swarms, big groups, and destroy the crops. Means if the cornfield would have been attacked by the insects, it would have left more than this hail storm. But the storm has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. This year he is predicting, because his cornfield has been destroyed by the hailstorm completely. Not even a single flower has been left. So he said this year will not have any corn. That night was a sorrowful one, means not happy one. It was very bad night, full of grief. Everyone was very upset. All our work for nothing, means throughout the year we had been working very hard. All who were all Lencho's family, they all had been working very hard for the year, for 1 year now, and it is worth nothing, means nothing was left. There is no one who can help us now. No one could help them. We'll all go hungry this year, means this year will not have anything to eat. So let's move to the comprehension check here. Question number 1, what did Lencho hope for? For rain showers. I should write here showers. Number 2 is, why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Because he hoped his harvest would yield substantial profits. Substantial means huge, big profits. His fields got withered with the snow. Got it, everyone? So this is the answer, actually the third question. New coins were here. New coins. Why did he compare raindrops with new coins? Because he hoped that his harvest would yield. Yield means give substantial profits, means huge profits. He will earn huge profits by looking at its harvest, and the new coins, the raindrops, will definitely make good for them. Number 3, question number 3, how did the rain change? It converted into a hailstorm. What happened to Lencho's field? His field got withered with the snow or hailstones. Got it, everyone? Okay, question number 4, what were Lencho's feeling when the hail stopped? He was extremely upset, disheartened, and his heart filled with immense sadness. So let's see what happens next. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. No, still Lencho had a hope. In that single, solitary means only one single house, there was a hope, and Lencho hoped the help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. He just, somehow he just wanted to pacify his family. He said, Remember always, no one dies of hunger. Means because of hunger no one dies in this world. Don't be so upset. No, something will happen, something positive will definitely happen, so you people need not be so upset. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. Means it is sad. People across the world say that no one dies of hunger. All through the night, next one, all through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything. Means all through the night, Lencho kept on thinking. Here, see here in this paragraph, we will see a ray of hope that Lencho was looking for. Means he had been taught since his childhood that God always sees everything and he always helps everyone. So all through that night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, means as he was taught in his childhood, that whose eyes means the God's eyes see everything. They see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Means even what is that we think and we do not ever speak out. Means what do we think inside our minds, that is also seen by God. Lencho was an ox of a man. Means very very hard working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. Means although he was a farmer, he had not had a good education, but still he knew how to write. Means he knew he could read and write. The following Sunday, the next Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. In the mail means in the letter box. He wrote a letter to God on the next Sunday, and he had planned that he would himself take that letter to the town, and he would put that letter in the post box. Next is letter box. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Nothing less than a letter to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos. Pesos is what? Currency, Mexican currency, you can say, in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm. Means he didn't write the complete reason here, because he knew that God knows what was the reason why he wanted 100 pesos. He straightforwardly just wrote it, if you don't help me, my family, means if you hear God, if you don't help me, my family would go hungry, and I need 100 pesos to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, until the next crop comes, because the hailstorm. And then he see the dots here. These symbolizes, means he need not explain the reason to God, because God knew that. He wrote to God on the envelope, means on the receiver's address, at the place of receiver's address, he wrote to God and put the letter inside, and still troubled, still he was troubled, means upset, went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. And he put a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the letter box. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily. Heartily means with all his heart, wholeheartedly, and showed him the letter to God. So the postman, who had to pick the letters from that mailbox, from that letter box, he just took the letter, and he when he saw the receiver's address on the envelope, he just couldn't stop laughing. He laughed wholeheartedly, and he showed his boss, the postmaster, the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. Again, see the usage of never in the beginning. Whenever we put these negating words, never, not, means we are giving emphasis on something negative. that the author wants to convey. Never in his career, means it was the very first time, never means never ever in his career as a postman he had known that address, means no one had ever sent a letter to God. This was the first time, the very first time that he has seen on the at the place of receiver's address somebody has written to God. The postmaster, a fat, amiable means a friendly person. The postmaster, who was a fat and a friendly fellow, also broke out laughing. He also started laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious. But almost immediately, immediately means as soon as possible, he turned serious, he became serious, and tapping the letter on his desk, and he just put the letter on a desk with the sound of with the sound of thumb. He commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter." Means he was very much exclaimed to see the unflinching faith of a person in God. Means he had never seen, he had never realized a person could have such a faith in God. I wish I had the faith the man who wrote this letter. Means he also wanted to have, I wish, I here stands for the postmaster. He wished that he could have also the same faith as the man had who wrote the letter to God. Starting up a correspondence with God means oh, I wish I could have such a faith in God that I could write a letter to God. I had never done such a thing in my life, because I do not believe God in such a robust manner, in such a strong way. Next paragraph. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. He came up with an idea. He wanted to answer that letter. See here how the complete staff of that post office did an act of charity to Lencho, and how did they help out? We will read the whole description in these two upcoming paragraphs. So he decided, the postmaster decided to help Lencho, and he decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill. Means more than goodwill means only not only the goodwill needed. He wanted to he had to give some money. He had to pay some money to the person who had written this letter to God. Ink and goodwill, ink and paper means ink and paper only. One needs ink, paper, and a goodwill to send the answer to someone's letter. But he needed something more than these three things. But he stuck to his resolution. Means he was determined. He had resolved that he would definitely help this person out. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave a part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So all the people, all his employees, his friends, he himself contributed a little, and so that he could help out the person. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as signature, God. So the whole staff somehow managed to collect more than half the sum what Lencho needed. How much did Lencho need? He needed 100 pesos. So more than half, 60 or 70 pesos they might have collected, and they sent it to the person. And inside the letter, inside the envelope, there were two things, the money and a letter, and the letter had only one single word, God. Means it symbolizes that God had sent the answer, reply to Lencho's letter. So okay, let's move to the comprehension check here. Question number 1, who and what did Lencho have faith in? Whom? God. He had the faith in God. And what did he do? He wrote a letter conveying his grievances, and asked for 100 pesos for survival and rejuvenation of his crops. Means he wanted to have 100 pesos for his survival of his family, and rejuvenation of his crops means to giving a new life to his crops. Okay, who read the letter? The postman, a postman, and then the postmaster. You can write both here. What did the postmaster do then? To retain Lencho's faith, he decided to collect money from his friends and colleagues, and he sent the money to Lencho. Okay, that's all for this session, and the next part of the chapter we will do in our next video.